What's up, everybody? Well, today I am here to bring to you another vacuum that's in my vacuum collection. This time it is something different compared to what you're used to seeing on this channel. And also, this is something more rare and unique, something you don't normally see too often. What I have for your viewing pleasure today is a Sharp twin energy upright vacuum. This was one of the vacuums that came around the time when vacuum competition was at its peak. For those of you who aren't too familiar with the Sharp twin energy, these vacuums actually sprouted up out of nowhere to basically compete with high-end vacuums like Panasonic or Ricard or Simplicity. And they were made with much more powerful motors while also being offered at a more budget-friendly price range, while still offering good quality compared to vacuums you can usually get at department stores. And I ended up getting this on OfferUp for only $20. And for me, that was quite a deal. It wasn't even listed specifically as a Sharp or anything. It was just listed as a regular vacuum, probably because the previous owner didn't know what kind of vacuum it is. But luckily, since I saw the listing, I jumped on it. I've never owned a Sharp Twin Energy before. I have always wanted to, and these just are quite unique pieces of vacuum history to me. Yes, they're not as well built as the high-end Panasonics that were sold at the time, but for what you pay for one of these are actually very good vacuums. And in my opinion, these do make excellent collector pieces. There's not too many of them out there on the road these days because some of them have suffered motor failures or other things that have become unavailable for them, like replacement parts such as the pedal release, which was a problem with this one when I got it. And lucky I was managed to source a new old stock replacement, so that's all taken care of. It also needed a belt and a headlight, which there are a lot of belts specific for the Sharp Twin Energies, but I just had a Panasonic UB8 belt in, and I threw it in, and it's worked great ever since. I also replaced the headlight while I was tearing this down, and it's turned out pretty good. This is definitely my first Sharp Twin Energy, and so far, I'm very satisfied. So let's go ahead and give a walkthrough of the machine. So this is one of the more mid-entry vacuums in the Sharp vacuum lineup, and to my knowledge, the early entry one to get the Twin Energy name, which basically what that means is it gives it a two-stage suction motor versus a single stage. There is a base model version of the Sharp Twin Energy that technically isn't called a Twin Energy because it doesn't have the label, and that one just has a single stage motor. It has no headlight. I actually saw one at a Goodwill one time, but I passed it up because I wanted a more high-end model like this that had the two-stage motor as well as a headlight. So after I got this, I went back to see if that Sharp was still available, and unfortunately someone else bought it. But truthfully, I'm not angry. At least I got this, which this one is definitely quite more powerful than the single stage one is. But anyway, there were higher end models that had a metal top handle as well as a variable speed motor and a metal brush roll, which eventually I would like to find that one, but this one works good for the time being that it's a more entry-level twin energy. As you see, it does have the plastic handle right up top here. Quality is not the best, but it was good for its time. As you can see, it does have, interestingly, 2 cracks on the top of the handle. They always crack on these corners for whatever reason. That's not a major deal. As long as it still stays intact, I'm okay with that. So as we move along down here, right here you have your Twin Energy logo on the bag door right here, and unfortunately this is what's left of the promotional tag on the front. It has, there's where it would have said Twin Energy, 12 amp, and here's your description of a 2-stage suction motor. It has 1 fan and then another fan behind it to generate powerful suction and airflow that is library quiet and is over 20% quieter than standard vacuums. And this is quite a powerhouse. So let's go ahead and open up the bag door. So as with any vacuum I get, I always like to run HEPA cloth bags. This is a Simplicity/Riccar Type A HEPA bag, and it works fantastic. It'll pretty much fit any of these like Panasonic-like vacuums, so it'll definitely fit this. Here's your fairly thick pre-motor filter that's very good at keeping dust out of the motor. That's very good filter design, and this is the original filter. I just washed it out, so that's all good to go. As we move on down here, it does have edge cleaning on both sides, and this has a 12 amp 1300 watt motor. It has automatic height adjustment. And so let's go ahead and flip this thing on its back to show you the underside. So here is the brush roll for the machine. It's one of the lower end models, so it does have the plastic acrylic brush roll that looks very Hoover in the way it's designed, being that it's all thin and meant to channel airflow through the head better. I've always liked this brush roll design for some reason. I don't know why. I know there's higher end models that come with the metal brush roll that do come with replaceable brush strips, but this works pretty good for what it is. It's got very stiff bristles on the brush roll, and due to its brush roll design, it definitely works good with channeling the airflow through the cleaner head quite effectively. You also do have edge cleaning brushes here on the side, and this brush roll is a helix design, which will channel everything to that suction path down here. And the bottom plate does hold on by a single latch, which is interesting because usually a lot of the Panasonic vacuums that I've seen are held on with 2 latches, so this is not the most secure, but it's definitely convenient to change out the belt if you need to. So let's go and flip this thing back up. We're going to show you along the back here. It does have its original upholstery tool, but unfortunately it is missing the extension wand, and I'm going to have to look for one. I'm not too sure if a Panasonic wand will work with this, but that's not a major deal. Here you have your hose connection down here. Eventually these will start to lose their grip as the years, so it's nice that this one is still, for the most part, intact. And I do love how this is just a straight shot up to the motor, so it can allow for the best suction and airflow possible. And so now let's go ahead and show you the model number to the cleaner right here. This is the Sharp model EC-12TWT4.
120 volts, 60 hertz, 12 amps on the motor. And the serial number for this, if anyone knows how to serial date these, please let me know. I want to say this was made probably in the mid to late 90s. And it's made by the Sharp Corporation, made in Malaysia. Interesting. The only other vacuum I've seen that's made in Malaysia are the early model Dysons. For household use only. And so far, I think I've pretty much shown you all I can around this vacuum. So now let's go ahead and get to the part you have been wanting to see, the turning on and running of this. So we will go ahead and release the power cord, which has quite a good amount of length to it. And this is the original cord. And so we will go ahead and plug this guy in. And we will go ahead and turn this thing on, and we will give you a demo of it running. So your power switch is down on the side of the cleaner right here. So here we go. Want an idea of how powerful this thing really is? Very nice. Quite a good performing machine. Definitely may not be the best built, but this is definitely quite a good performer. Well, everybody, I hope you've enjoyed this video on the Sharp Twin Energy. Be sure and stay tuned, and don't forget to like, rate, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.